In this video, I'll show you how to create an open file dialog, so similar to this, so you can browse your files on your computer. I'll show you two ways. One, to be able to select individual files, and another to be able to select more than one file at the same time. This one right now is set to single file mode, so I can only select one file at a time. I'll also show you how to specify the filters so that it only shows certain types of files. I'll show you how to do all this.
Hi, my name is Jobin, and I'm an open source developer. My channel is called JobinPy, and it's all about Python and Linux. Welcome to JobinPy.
Okay, so the first thing I'll do is here I'm just going to import Tkinter as tk, and then from Tkinter import ttk, and here I'm going to specify root equal tk.tk so we can get the main root window, and then going to start the main loop. We're actually not going to use any ttk widgets in this tutorial, but just by habit I always import ttk up here anyway, so we could actually just leave this one out. So if I run this, we just get a blank window. So now we also need this. So from tkinter import file dialog, and we're going to use this to open up the open file dialog, so your user can specify one or more files. So there's actually a few ways of doing this. This is one of them. So you can say selected file equal file dialog dot ask open file. And now if I run this application, it'll show me this. I'm using Linux, and with my current theme, which is a dark theme, like my windows are dark like this, the actual file names don't show up until I highlight them. So this is a strange bug, but you may not encounter this. In Windows, it won't look like this. It'll just look like a normal, Windows open file dialog. And Mac OS, I'm not sure what it looks like. But okay, so this comes up. It's an open file dialog, and it allows your user to select a file. There is no filter. So right now it's showing all kinds of files, not just one. So I'm just going to click cancel here. So there's actually a few methods, and I'll show you this. So right now we're using file dialog dot ask open file, and it's singular. It doesn't say files, it just says file. But if I bring up the menu again, there's ask open file, which is what we just used. There's askopenfilename, there's askopenfilenames with an S, and askopenfiles with an S. So there's these four to choose from, and I'll explain the differences. So the difference between askopenfile and file name is that file will return the actual file data, whereas askopenfilename will only return the path to the file, but it won't open the file. So I'll show you an example. So askopenfile. So this will actually open the file. And here I'm going to specify parent equal root. And I'm also going to specify file types equal, and I'm going to make this a list. And inside this list, I'm going to create a tuple. I'm going to say text files, and then here I'm going to specify the extension, so .txt, like that. Okay, so if I run this, it's going to be slightly different. So we can see that down here it's set to the same filter, and it's only finding text files. So I'm not seeing a whole bunch of files like I was before. So this is how you specify a filter. And I'll show you what it does when you open up the file. Like right now, if I open it, it's not going to do anything because I haven't told it to do anything with it. But if I say print selected file dot read, it's actually going to print the contents of that text file. So I'm going to open it, and down here in the console, I can see the word test. And that's because in that file, I just wrote the word test. So the actual file type that gets returned is a text wrapper. So if I just print this object, I'll show you what it outputs. So it's a text IO wrapper. So this is the actual file that gets returned. And from here, you just use the read method to read the contents. So when you use askopenfile by itself without specifying the mode, it's going to open it up in like text mode, like read-only text mode. So this won't really work if you're trying to open up binary files like images and things like that. Let's say if I wanted to add images to the file types. So for that, I would continue this tuple. And here I'm going to specify image files. And then for the extensions, I'm going to have it show .png and also .jpg. So when you're specifying more than one file type, you put a space. So .png space .jpg, like that. And text files is still there. But watch what happens if I try to open up an image. It'll throw an error. Okay, so let's just rerun this. And from here we can still see text files, but from the drop down I also now see image files. So if I select image files, I see some PNG files. So here's one, pizza.png. So if I try to open this, I get an error. You know, it says codec can't decode byte. So it's basically a byte file, like it's a binary file. But we can't open it up like this because right now it's opened up in text mode. So to read binary files, we have to specify mode equal RB. So R is read only, B is for bytes. So if we try to do that now, if we try to read it again, let's just select an image file again. We'll go back into pizza.png. Yeah, and now we can see the byte data. It's a PNG file, so I was able to open it now. So this is how you can read a file using askopenfile. So here I also specified parent equal root. It'll still work if you don't have that, but I highly recommend having that. So if I restart my application, you can see that it still works. But if you don't have this in there, sometimes what will happen is when you open up the open file dialog, it'll appear behind your application. So, and it won't throw an error because it's not technically an error. So if you don't have this, your open file dialog may not appear on top of your window, on top of your application. If you don't have parent equal root, or if you don't specify the parent, it'll appear behind your application, and it might confuse your users. So with this, it only lets me select one file. Like if I try to select more than one file, it won't let me. If I try to highlight more than one file, it won't work. Oh, and by the way, I should explain a cancel. So when I click on cancel, it's going to return none. Like if I run this and click on cancel, it's going to return none here. So you can check for it. So you can say if selected file is not none, then try to read it. And if you do this now, and when you click on cancel, it won't show an error. So that's how you know if it's if the cancel button has been clicked or not for this particular method, askopenfile. So what if I use askopenfiles with an S. What's going to happen there? It's almost the same. Let me just remove that if statement. It's almost the same. So if I run it and go to image files again, so I can see images here, and if I try to hold down the control key on the keyboard, it will let me select more than one file. So if I click open, it's going to show an error. That's because at this point, selected file will return a list. And here I'm trying to read a list, but I can't do that. I have to loop through the list and then read each file one by one. So let's just print out selected file to see what it gives us first. So if I select image files and select multiple files, click open, I can see there's one item in the list, and then there's a comma, and then there's another item in the list. A buffered reader is for binary data. So this is the second file, and this is the third file. So when you use askopenfiles with an S, it opens up the files and it returns a list of those files. So if you wanted to read them, you would just say for F, for file in selected file, and then from there you can say f.read, or put that file anywhere in your application. You can load it as an image or do anything with it. Or if you wanted to get the path to the file, you can use f.name. So if I print this, we should be able to see the path. So let's just rerun this application. Go to image files again and select multiple files. So vehicle, pizza, and juice. And if I click on open, I can see all those three file names, the path, the full path to those files. So you can just use .name for the selected file. So that's how it works with askopenfiles with an S. One slight difference is if I click on cancel, it's not going to return none. It's going to return an empty tuple. So that's one difference between askopenfile and askopenfiles. Okay, so that's the difference between those two. What about askopenfilename? What does that one do? Well, that one actually doesn't open the file. It just returns the file name, like the full path to the file name. So I'll show you an example. So here we have askopenfilename, so it's singular. There's only one file, and everything else here is the same. And I'm just going to print the selected file. Let's see what we get. Okay, so here we get an error. It says bad option mode. Okay, so let's just stop that. We'll go back. And what this is complaining about is this. So we can't use mode because we're not actually opening this file. So yeah, this part is actually not the same. So mode equal RB, let's just remove that, because again, we're not opening the file. We're only returning the file names, or file name in this example, just one file name. So let's just rerun this. Okay, so select an image file. Let's just select pizza.png again, and we can see it just returned the file name. And file names does the exact same thing, except it's going to return multiple files instead of just one. So if I run that again, select image files, I can select multiple files, click open, and it returns a tuple of all those selected files. And if I click on cancel, it's going to return an empty tuple. So these are the differences for askopenfile, askopenfilename, askopenfilenames, and askopenfiles. The one that I like to use is if I want to ask the user for multiple files, I'll use askopenfilenames with an S. Or if it's only a single file, I'll just use askopenfilename. I prefer to open up the files by myself with the pathlib library, so I would rather do that. But it's good to know that the option exists to have it open the file for us if we wanted to. So that's basically how to use the open file dialog in Tkinter. One last thing that you might find useful, by the way, is in these methods you can also specify the initial directory, like the starting point of which folder it starts with. And to do that, you just specify initial dir. And here I'm just going to write /home/Jobin like that. And if I run it again, I can see it opens up in /home/Jobin. Or if I specify /home/Jobin/music, it opens up in the music folder. So that's another interesting thing that you can do, is you can specify which folder it starts in. I hope you found this useful.